It's important, I think, to understand that when we're talking about carbon fibers and plastics and elastomeric materials, I don't think it has quite the impact until you realize that these materials are indeed coming from crops like switchgrass, as an example. All of our research has been on renewable energy crops or existing, southern pine trees out of the pulp and paper industry, but highly renewable feedstocks that are grown here in the vicinity. This particularly is switchgrass grown in Monroe County. And from that, we have performed and produced a host of materials through our chemistry and application technologies. So I'll kind of talk through it in order of the way that it works. So, we harvest these crops out of the field. We then prepare these materials by chopping them down to smaller size. Between here and here is a big part of some of our secret sauce, but we apply our chemistry, our fractionation chemistry, on these materials to then ultimately produce high value and high purity sugars and high purity lignin. And a lot of folks don't fully understand what lignin is, but lignin looks a lot like cinnamon, if you will, and basically it's a dried powder that from that point we can then start to produce fibers and many of our other materials. So these are lignin fibers. So this is 100% lignin, but just extruded into a fiber format. From that, we can then start to produce some really exciting things like carbon fiber, polymers, copolymers blended with lignin blended with ABS, as an example, which is a very common plastic used in the world today. We have been able to produce 3D printing filament. So you hear a lot of talk, especially these days, about 3D printing and additive manufacturing. So our technology has gone so far as to start to produce 3D printing filament that has lignin as part of it. From that, giving a shout out to the Big Orange, we can produce anything your mind can imagine that is currently produced today from ABS 3D printing filament. We can produce the same materials, but it includes lignin that is derived from these renewable energy crops.